Hi everyone, this is Paul and you're watching Billy's Educatella. In this new video session, I would like to discuss the concept of OOPS concepts in Java. So in this video session, I would like to cover the content which the OOPS concepts are used in Java programming. So let us go to the video. Before going to the video, please subscribe my channel and like the video and share the content to your friends. Now let us discuss the topic of OOPS concept in Java. So OOPS concepts in Java are the main ideas behind Java's object-oriented programming. So in Java's object-oriented programming, the OOPS concept play an important role and they are the key steps in Java's object-oriented programming. And Java OOPS concept let us create working methods and variables and then reuse all or part of them very easily. So here when you are creating some methods and the variables, they can be reused in another class by importing them. So OOPS concept are playing the main role by importing and reusing the classes and their methods and the variables. So in this way the OOPS concept play an important role. So there are some key steps or key elements which are going to perform in OOPS concepts. So here I am going to explain few of them. So first of all, class, next one object, and next one is abstraction, and next one is polymorphism, and next one is inheritance, and next one is encapsulation. We will discuss each of them in each session. So in this session I would like to cover the class and the object, and next session we will discuss about abstraction, and after that we will cover the remaining of them. So now let us discuss what is a class. A class is a user-defined blueprint or a prototype from which objects are created. So for creating the objects we need some blueprint. So that blueprint will be provided by the class. So a class acts as a blueprint for creating the objects. Okay, and there are some certain options which are present in the class. So one of the option is the modifier. A class can be a public or has some default access. So in the next slide I will discuss different types of modifiers and how they can be used. So a class can be a public or private or protected, or it can have some default access. And the class name, the name should be begin with an initial letter capitalized by the convention. So you can use an initial letter as a capitalized, or you may use a small letter as your wish. So if you use a capitalized, it makes the program to be an effective manner. So a class name could be an capitalized or a small letter. And a superclass, if you are importing the main class to the subclass, the main class acts as a superclass. So the name of the class, that is a parent, is named as a superclass if any preceded by the keyword extends. A class can only extend by the subclass one parent. So here a class can be extended by using the extends keyword, and the extended class is named as the subclass to the parent class. Okay, I think so you understood it. So here a superclass is nothing but a parent class, and a subclass is named as a child class, and this child class gets the content which was present in the parent class. And next one is the interfaces. When a class implements an interface, you can think of the class as signing an contract or agreeing to perform the specific behavior of the interface. A class uses the implements keyword to implement an interface. So guys, here an interface is nothing but it is signing an agreement to perform only specific behaviors. So here what will the animal do? The animal will do eating, and it will travel from one place to another place. So here it has only specific behavior to eat and to travel. So here the interface plays a key role in showing the specific behavior of the given object or the given method. So how this interface will be implemented? So this interface will be implemented by using a new class. So I will use some class. I will name some animal, class some pig. How this is implemented? By using the implements keyword. Implements animal. So in this way the interface is implemented. So an interface is nothing but an method. So this method will be implemented by using a class. So this class will be implemented by using the implements keyword. I think so you understood it. Next we will discuss about an object. An object is a combination of a data and the procedures working on the available data. So here the class provides some blueprint. Okay, this blueprint can be created by using an object. An object is a combination of the data and the procedures. So the data and the procedures will be provided by this blueprint. So by using this blueprint, an object will be created working on the available data. So this blueprint provides the available data. So by using that available data, an object will be created. So here we have an class and we have an variable with value 5, and so here this is closed. Now let us discuss what is an object. An object is a combination of the data and the procedures working on the available data. So a class consists of some data. So the data is used by the object and it combines the data and the procedures and make some process that is needed by the class. So an object is a combination of the data and the procedures. So here we have a class named as my class, and it has some data x is equal to 5. So this data is used by the object. So we have the main method. In this main method we created an object name as my object. So this object accesses the data from the my class. After accessing, we will print the data. But how we will print? System.out.println my object dot x. So here dot x means it is an integer value. Here we will print that int value by using the object. So in this way the object plays an important role in using the data from the class and create some data and procedures and make the output an effective way. I think so you understood it. Now let us discuss multiple classes. So here I created one class named as my class. In this class I take a variable and its value is 5, and I created another class named as other class. In this other class I declare the main method. So in this main method I create an object, and by using that object I access the content which is present in my class. So how this data will be compiled and run? By saving the whole program by using other class dot java. Why we have to save other class dot java? Why we shouldn't save it as my class dot java? Because in other class dot java we have the main method, so we have to save the class name as other class dot java. By using the other class dot java, the other class named as my class can be accessed by using this object. So by using this object we can access the data from my class, and that content will be printed in this main method. I think so you understood it. So in my next video session I would like to discuss the programs which are related to classes, objects and multiple classes. So there I will perform the programs related to them. So please watch that video without fail, and please subscribe my channel and like the video and share to your friends, and thank you everyone.